morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, depending on where you are watching from. Welcome to BMS News. As Nigerians continue the all eyes on the judiciary rally, the chairman of the Nigeria Bar Association has come up on the channel's news to defend the election that declared Bola Ahmed Tinubu winner and fought the EU report. According to the chairman of the NBA, the EU report can be used to ascertain if the presidential election conducted on the 25th of February was manipulated or not. You see, when I said that the problem we have in Nigeria is delegates, INEC, judiciary, and our political leaders. How can a whole chairman of NBA spit this type of words? In fact, he say this rubbish with his mouth. I'll be showing us the video how he condemned the EU report. No wonder some persons are saying that Tinubu has settled this man and that is the reason he is speaking rubbish. Guys, watch the video.
That one of the two lawyers, one the senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, and the other Chidi Kalu, said that I think Femi Falana said you were trying to, in his own words, silence Nigerian lawyers, and Odinkalu felt that what you said had no bearing, and they didn't see why the court judgments could not be, questioned by lawyers.
Yes. So, the legal profession is a profession that is regulated. And it has rules of professional conduct. As a professional, you must be measured in the way you speak. And I will just give you a typical example of how the public actually sees lawyers, so that we appreciate the sort of influence that we have over people. And that way, we'll be careful how we speak, and that is expected of us as professionals. That is why we cannot speak about the decisions of court in a certain manner, in a manner that would incite the public against the institution of justice. And it is also unprofessional to make personal attacks to the persons of judicial officers. In my village, Terry, I went home one day and a woman, once she sighted me, she started telling her daughter to go bring her son, who was named Barrister, because they called me Barrister. Fast forward to when I became a son. So in my village now, I have one young man that is named Barrister. Also another young man that is now named Son. There are people who don't know the import of the decisions of court, the binding nature of the decisions of court, whether you are happy with the decisions or not. There are people who see you as a lawyer from their village as having the final say concerning any matter. And so how you talk about the decisions of the court is of utmost importance.
But can lawyers openly disagree with court judgments?
You have a means of disagreeing with the judgments of court. If you have a decision of the High Court that you are not happy with, you don't come to Channels Television and begin to tell Terry how that judge was wrong. It's unprofessional. All of the things that we have to do is within an order. That is a structure that is provided for us to do it. If the Supreme Court, which is the final court of the land, renders a decision, if you are a scholar, talk about it. Go and do an analysis. But don't come and be making insinuations to the effect that the court was compromised. That was why they came to that position. What you are doing is not helping the system. You are destroying the institution. You are destroying the platform upon which the persons who are the players of the administration of justice at that point in time, at this point in time, are standing to discharge that responsibility. Once the platform is destroyed, the institution is destroyed, even when you now bring people you believe have what it takes from your own opinion to occupy that office, the public would have lost confidence in the institution. And nothing that comes from that institution would be accepted by the public. And so we have a responsibility to be guided, to be guarded, and to be measured in the way we talk about the judgments of the courts. And all of them that you mentioned, they understand what they need to do. They do understand what they need to do. I'm not saying that lawyers shouldn't talk about, but you don't go to the televisions. And many times I've had interviews where lawyers came to channels, television, or other media to say that they haven't even read the decision of the court.
Well, just before we go, because we're out of time, I need to switch to the next conversation now. Some question how you lead in the NBA, especially with regard to the elections, your comments on the elections and your assessment of the elections, and then comparing that to the Election Union Observer reports that came out. How do you respond to those who believe that the EU did a better job than the NBA?
You know, Terry, it was you that conducted that interview with me in the office. At the risk of sounding immodest, I'm not a frivolous person. I am not. I had all of those comments. But my comment was based on empirical evidence. Nigerian Bar Association deployed 1,000 observers across the country. Across the country. I don't know how many EU observers have been deployed across the country. And in the form that we curated for the report by our observers, we also have columns where you would, as an observer, tell us if you saw any EU or any international or foreign observer at your polling unit. Terry, I received reports from our observers, those that turned in their report, not less than 600 of those that turned in their reports. And by the way, for every report that we received till date, we can tell you the geolocation of the person who sent that report and also give you statistics or details of the device that he used. So we leveraged on technology. Right. That came real time. 20% of those who turned in their reports said the election was excellent. 67% of those who turned in the report said that it was satisfactory. If you add 20 to 67, and EU, how many polling units did they go to? Now, how can we now elevate the report of 50 people against? Let us look at the statistics of what they did.
We would have to have a longer conversation, but I'd like to thank you very much for.
This is very disgraceful. This has shown that people saying that Tinubu bribed the NBA chairman are not far from the kingdom. They are not far from the truth. Let's hear what some persons say in the comment section. Guys, watch. The NBA president Yakub Makayau is a fraud with corn in his mouth. Remember, he shares the same Yakubu name with the criminal INEC chairman, Yakub Mahmood. Guys, I don't know if those who are answering this name, Yakub, has lies to be telling in their mouths. This one said the president NBA chairman is the most useless in the history of the NBA. DSS disobeyed court's order. When he released a statement, he said to... This one said the present NBA chairman is the most useless in the history of the NBA. DSS disobeyed court order. When he released a statement, he said to fighting. A lawyer was caught during the election running away with a ballot box. He looked the other way. From the characters which the NBA chairman has displayed, it shows that he must have received some prayers in his mailbox from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that is why he is trying to influence the judiciary. But all eyes are still on the judiciary. Guys, let's hear your view on the comment section. And please, if this is your first time of watching our video, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, share this video, as we also see you in our subsequent bulletin. All eyes on the judiciary. We must reclaim our mandate.